So there are 4 main ingredients that are needed for storm development. One is going to be CAPE, or as we like to call it, convective available potential energy.
Basically, we think of air as little individual parcels in the atmosphere. As that individual parcel at the surface heats up, sometimes it can, depending on other ingredients, but it can get hotter than the environment around it. And when that happens, that air parcel is going to rise like a hot air balloon. And that is what we need for our stronger thunderstorms to develop.
2 is going to be moisture, aka the water.
Moisture is so key to storm development. You can't even get clouds if you don't have any moisture in the air. Now, a lot of times with high pressure, we have dry air and sinking air, and clouds can't develop. When we have low pressure, that allows for rising air, and it usually brings in moisture to the air.
3 is going to be oil, because there are a lot of different oils you can use when it comes to baking. And this is our shear in the atmosphere, also known as the turning of the winds.
Really, 2 main different types of shear. We have directional shear, which means at the surface the wind is going one way, and up in the higher levels of the atmosphere it's going another way. This motion of the winds can create spinning in the atmosphere, and that spin is what you're going to need for a tornado to develop. There's also speed shear, where at the surface the wind isn't quite as strong, and then as you get higher up in the atmosphere the wind's going a lot faster. So that shear as well will create turning of the winds, and you need that for tornadoes to develop as well. 4 is going to be the egg, that additional lift needed in the atmosphere. Now, all of those things I've kind of talked about help create rising air, that air parcel rising. But sometimes that's not enough. We have different layers of the atmosphere. We'll have a cooler layer, and the air parcel will hit that cooler layer. This is going to be known as the cap, if you've heard that saying before, or it's also kind of known as SIN, convective inhibition. And when that happens, our air parcel will sink again. But if we have some sort of front, like a cold front or a warm front or a dry line or anything like that, that front can give that parcel an additional boost to get up into the higher levels of the atmosphere. And then the storm can develop much easier when there is that additional lift going. This right here is another awesome way to think about the turning of the winds helping brew thunderstorms, and eventually you can produce a tornado this way in the atmosphere, not in your kitchen. I hope this was helpful. Once again, I'm Storm Team 2 Meteorologist Carly Smith.